All right, guys, welcome to the Get Bit Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, you are most certainly welcome here. I host the most Will Buchanan, aka Black Spartan, of course, the man to my left, your right. As a guest, you want to introduce him,
Joe? Newly minted droid owner Joe Tonello. Say hi, GGBT. And now we're demoted immediately.
Oh, and the trio of us make up the Get Bit Podcast. Much like the WWE of old, guys, we do try to watch our language, however words we fly, and of course we do show trailers and news of that information. So some things may be too intense for younger viewers, so viewer discretion is advised. Aside from that, welcome. So, how do we start? Because a lot of news.
Well, we'll start the easiest way. We can start the easiest way. How are you doing?
I'm running on caffeine and hope. That's all I got right. I'll tell you this: being a new parent is interesting and challenging, and you don't get sleep. But I'm happy. He's healthy.
I can't wait till you get to the pool noodle phase.
The what?
The pool noodle phase, where everything you can see the sharp is immediately covered with the pool noodle.
Yeah. When Obi's mobile, yeah. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that one. I just figured I just duct tape him. But
I just figured you just strap some cannons onto him and let him go.
I think I wouldn't be against it, but I'm pretty sure my fiance would have some grievances. She'd probably have some grievances about that.
It's working very well with Gundam right now.
Fair, but
for those of you not aware of this, the new episode of Gundam dropped last week, and for you new people, the Gundam franchise are horrified of beyond the humans' atrocities. For us, this was just Thursday.
That's how you welcome Gundam
I'm doing a podcast. Yeah, still doing a podcast.
Well. That's the beauty part about Gundam fans. When they realize they walked into something that they weren't really aware of, that's how you get immediately baptized. But welcome. But yeah, how do we start this?
I just tell them, go read Blue Destiny. Go read Blue Destiny. I just tell them, go read Blue Destiny and you'll be fine.
I'd rather if we really want to give them something truly, let's not do that. Let's not ruin a wonderfully good Friday night. Anyway, so we have some trailers to go through because I did want to get Joe's impression of this because, of course, life happens. I wasn't able to be a part of the podcast last week. So we are actually going to start with the Marvel's teaser trailer. If you haven't seen it, here it is. As soon as I get it up. There we go.
Captain Rambo?
What the hell are you doing?
Entering the jump point perimeter.
I'm gonna get you some readings, Fury. Hello?
Monica.
Hello?
Captain Rambo?
Is this an Avengers test?
Where's Captain Rambo?
What the?
Well, now, don't you tell me to smile. You stick around, I'll make you what you want.
Hi.
We're looking for Kamala Khan.
Okay, so our powers are entangled. I can manipulate light energy. And I can totally show you. No! I'm not again. Hi.
Where's our daughter?
Wherever you were.
We're
team.
Oh, no. We're not a team.
We're not a team.
All right, and that was the Marvels. Now, as you can see, guys, it does come out November the 10th. We will be seeing Brie Larson back as Captain Marvel. Each person is back as, what they calling her, Photon or Spectre? I forgot.
Spectrum, I believe.
Okay. And of course, we have Kamala Khan as Miss Marvel coming back. Again, Miss Marvel is a series on Disney Plus. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend you do. It is very, very well done. But y'all can ask your impressions on it. Now that we're going to see all three Marvels on November 10th, is it really fitting into what we want the Marvels to be, or should we be concerned?
Well, first off, we learned a dangerous lesson of asking men, what do we want?
Uh-oh. Hang on, Joe. You went muted.
There we go.
All right. Say it one more time. Didn't catch it.
I said, well, we learned what happened last time this movie came out, and they asked men's opinion. So to not get shot in the face by Brie Larson, I'm going to go with I dig it. Also, I love the fact that they use Intergalactic from Beastie Boys, and the first shot of Carol is accompanied with the lyric, "Don't you tell me to smile."
That is true.
The trailer looks fun. I cannot wait for it. Clearly, there's going to be a Bollywood instance. We're apparently also going to have the small subplot of Goose being pregnant and giving birth to multiple flarking kittens, which can only lead to adorableness and utter eldritch horror.
Yeah.
I also want to say that fight at the end may be against a Super Skrull.
Yeah. I think they're kind of hinting at, because they did very well about not showing it. Not showing the actual face, because they only also the back of it. But yeah, I mean, and again, Kamala Khan's just adorable. I cannot get past her. She is an MCU fan that is living her dream right now, but completely freaking adorable in this movie. So
we also confirmed for this movie that one of the main villains will be a new accuser.
Yeah. So that's going to be interesting, considering the fact that, Ronan is no longer with us. But yeah, that's going to...
all he had to do was enter into the dance competition for the world.
Yeah, I don't think he was really up for dancing at that moment, especially with Power Stone. But either way, come November 10th, we're going to find out, if it's going to live up to it. Again, look, if it's... And I got to say this before we move on, because a lot of people out there, and there's a certain name for you guys, I'm not going to say it. Pretty much, if you don't like what the MCU is doing, complaining about it, online bullying only worked in DC on Snyder. You know that. It only worked once. It's not going to happen again, guys. For the simple fact of the matter is, the MCU is heading in directions, and of course, their storytelling can be experimental, but it's not bad. I mean, even the story of Kevin Feige wanting to actually look for more experienced directors and writers, I get it, just because like movies like Thor, Love and Thunder may have not been accepted very well. Black Widow, really, Black Widow's issue was just timing. I mean, why would you do a Black Widow movie after she passes, which, again, made no sense.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, guys, the MCU has put out pretty decent movies, and DC Studios is catching up behind them. So pretty much complaining about Brie Larson and saying, oh, she's not Captain Marvel we wanted, or this, that, and that nature. Look, you are completely okay to have your opinion, but just don't ruin it for the rest of us. Because right now we are living the golden age. So again, it's okay to complain. It's not okay to bully at all. Never is.
Here's the other thing I'll add to this.
Mm-hmm.
The one last thing I want to add to this is we know a lot of people fell in love with Brie Larson because she is a weird hot nerd. And, I use that. I don't like identifying that thing, but, a lot of people fell in love with her in Community or Scott Pilgrim. And I think what she does, I think her best thing is when you let her be a weird nerd. And something tells me this movie is going to let her be at her peak weirdness and nerdiness.
Yeah.
She's going to have to adapt to pregnant cat. Pregnant cat gives birth to a horde of kittens, quite literally a horde of kittens if you've actually read the comic.
Yeah.
Which also, we should also note that Goose is going to be a terrible mother. And not only dealing with her niece, who's probably the same age as she is, so that's going to be something all on its own. She's going to have to deal with the ultimate fangirl with powers.
But it's
maybe
gonna
like
be
an episode of Freakazoid, but with powers.
But it's gonna be adorable though, because she wants to be a part of everything so bad. But yeah, November 10th, it's gonna be a good time. Really quickly, if you're like me and just found this out about 30 minutes ago before you started set up a podcast, yeah, I'm one of those people. Street Fighter 6 demo was out today on PlayStation. So if you have a PS4 or PS5, you can download it and actually play it. It's only 2 playable characters for right now, and they also do give you the My Conquest mode, so it's kind of like My Player except for Street Fighter. But it is available right now. Like I said before, I'm one of the ones that was, late to the party and just downloaded it, so I haven't had a chance to really have fun with it. But again, with Street Fighter 6 coming out June the 6th, which was not too far off. We hope everything goes well with Capcom. There are no pushbacks or slowdowns. But again, if you want to give it a shot, it's available on PlayStation. It's available on PlayStation Store right now. Will be released on all other platforms, I believe, next week or so. I think for Xbox,
I've done it.
PC. What you say, Joe?
Oh, I've got it. I'm playing it.
Cool. So you'll be able to give
unlike the majority of humanity, I have not made a monstrosity that is a abhorrent front to nature as a character.
I'm afraid that is.
No, I've actually made a standard-looking human being. You remember the last time they let people make their own characters?
Yeah. It's kind of hard not to relive those nightmares, but yeah.
Yep. So very fun. The tutorial gives you a rundown. My only gripe is for this demo, if you're not doing story mode, because this demo is really for story mode because you get to play all of Chapter 1 of the story mode.
Yeah.
Is you only get Luke and Ryu.
Yeah.
I don't want to learn Luke and Ryu. I want to learn Menon, and I don't want to wait for another 2 months.
Well, I think it's a smart idea because number one, you get to test how the system is going to run, and number two, you get to work out some mechanics. So I get the fact of why they did it. It's a great idea to go ahead and get some test runs out there. But yeah, Ryu or Luke, I'm okay with that right now because again, I do want to play with DJ. I used to love DJ on Street Fighter, and I would love to get back to playing him as one of my mains. But again, if you do have a PlayStation, you can go on the PlayStation Network right now and download the demo for free. For Xbox and PC will be next week. Moving along in the trailers, guys, because Joe had brought this one to my attention, and if this was not on my bingo card of 2023, a lot of things were on my bingo card of 2023, but a Muppets Mayhem movie was definitely not it. Yes, there is. So I'm sorry, a series of Muppet Mayhem. I apologize, I said movie. A series called The Muppet Mayhem. Again, if you don't know who they are, number one, I'm going to assume that I'm going to assume you were probably born in 2005. Or you just never got to see the wonder that you're about to watch right now, which is the Muppets Mayhem trailer.
The Mayhem? They taught Motley Crue how to shred and party. They tattooed their name on me when I was passed out. What? These guys go hard. I was in college the first time I saw the Mayhem play.
I grew up idolizing Dr. Teeth. I bought gold grills just to be like him.
Say cuckoo.
Well, we got a little sidetracked by the 80s.
For sure.
2, 3, 4.
I'm Nora Singh from Waxtown Records. I would love to help you make an album.
Well, all right.
Nora?
What's happening?
I think Animal digs you.
I dig the animal as well.
I've been waiting my entire life for an Electric Mayhem album. Finally, somebody is making it happen.
Okay, it begins.
How about you?
Yeah, good, Animal.
Let's say we bring the old school and you bring the new.
How about a hot music collab, huh?
I think Animal's all ready to lay down our drum track.
That was perfect.
What? What?
I don't think the band is digging any of this.
It is so hot, I'm gonna pass out.
You feeling this?
We did it!
See? Happy.
They're always happy. Watch. Hey guys, look. I got a fork.
You did it!
You showed us there's a whole world beyond the mayhem.
It's trending. You did this.
With one tweet, you started beef with all of music.
And our vengeance shall be swift.
I like this show. Lots of drama.
Let's get back to you doing what you do best. I'm ready to roll with it.
Look good, because we're ready to rock with it. We're gonna rock!
Welcome to the mayhem.
We're more than just a band, we're a family. All right.
Electric mayhem. Is that a vacuum?
Thank you.
Doesn't get any weirder than that, am I right?
You know it.
See this camera? Okay, do not look into this camera. Action.
Talk about a cliffhanger.
Disney Plus is gonna love this.
Everybody watch!
Oh God! You know what? I'm sold. I'm sold.
Finally, a Spinal Tap you can show to children.
I mean, oh wow, that was. I can't say this with a straight face. That was the Muppets Mayhem, of course, streaming series, which will start May 10th on Disney Plus. Actually, now that I think about it, was the guy from Smart Guy was the guy in that one? I want to say it was TJ Mowry. I kept looking at him and wondering why he looked so familiar.
Possibly.
I want to say he's the kid from Smart Guy. I'll have to look that up later. Because if he is, I'm like, wow, it has been that long since I've watched Disney, since I've watched the Disney series. But the
musical god is Weird Al.
I mean that, and I'm just stuck on. I mean, Animal and Dr. Teeth are going to be the funniest ones to me. But again, if you've never seen Dr. Teeth: Electric Mayhem, there's this wonderful thing called Muppet Theater on Disney Plus, which again, if you've never watched it, you really should, because if anything, there's a lot of humor, adults and children, because that's how we learn to basically do sarcasm when we were younger. But I got no issues with it. I'm looking forward to it. Joe, anything else you want to add to it?
I too was sidetracked by the 80s.
I gotta admit, it's like never did an album. Wow, never did an album. But anyway, that's the Muppets Mayhem. That'll be out May 10th. Other news before we get to other trailers, guys. We got to go to DC for a little bit. Specifically, Creature Commandos, which is one of James Gunn's pet projects. We found out that there is casting for it. Frank Grillo will actually be playing Rick Flag Sr. Again, that's the father of Rick Flag, who did lead the original Suicide Squad. Excuse me if I mispronounce this. Maria Bakalova will be playing as Princess Ilana Rostovic. Idra Barma will be playing as the bride. Zoe Cao as Nina Morosky. Alan Tudyk as Dr. Phosphorus. And of course, David Harbour will be starring as Eric Frankenstein. Sean Gunn will be G.I. Robot. With Steve Agee, if you guys remember from Peacemaker and Suicide Squad, will be reprising his role as John Economos. So, of course, if you don't know what Creature Commandos is, think of Suicide Squad, but basically with monsters. That's pretty much what Creature Commandos is. I still think it was one of DC's little hidden gems. And the one thing I have seen James Gunn do is take little gems that we don't know about and actually make them interesting, wonderful, lovable, memorable, money-making characters. Because you've seen what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy for Disney. I can only imagine what he's going to do for Creature Commandos for DC.
So the interesting thing we're also not talking about, but I'm about to bring up, is the majority of this cast are Marvel actors.
Oh yeah,
Ray Yellow was Crossbones.
Yep.
No David Harbour. I believe Sean Gunn is not only coming over from Guardians, but he's also reprising his role as the Weasel.
Oh, so the Weasel. Well, I mean, the Weasel definitely wasn't dead, so I could see him coming back in another Suicide Squad movie or somewhere else.
The question I have about this is how old is Economos? I mean, we know he's old enough to dye his beard, but this is Sergeant Rock, a take on Sergeant Rock and his Howling Commandos.
Right.
This is just Rick Flag and the Creature Commandos, which is its own separate entity, but still a World War II style book to counter Nick Fury and his commandos.
True. Which makes you do got a point though, unless they're trying to make it seem like, he's a young intern, I guess. Even if he was a young intern, that means by Peacemaker, he would have to be in his 60s.
If not older.
Yeah. He'd have to be. But either way.
No, he would have to be 1944 and it's 2002. He would have to be in his 80s.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
Or he would be, if it's happening, if Economos is telling stories now and he was there, he'd be 79.
Unless it was a different one.
We don't know if he's John Economos Jr. That is true.
Yeah.
We do just know he's old enough to be dyeing his beard.
That is also true. But, there's one thing you did point out something great, though. It's like a lot of these, and I'm not saying James Gunn is not welcoming former Disney/Marvel people with open arms, but let's kind of be honest, because not only have we just seen a lot of his actors that he was over there. We saw Michael Rooker come over and play Savant in Suicide Squad. Of course, as Joe had mentioned, Sean Gunn played the Weasel. But actors aren't the only ones. Directors are too. Specifically, the Russo brothers, who at this time, let's go ahead and stress this very heavily. At this time, nothing is confirmed. There has been no contracts. There has been nothing. Let's stress this very heavily. But a question was posed to the Russo brothers that if James Gunn did offer them a movie to direct in his DCU, they of course said we would do it absolutely. They did. They also got asked if it was up to them, which movie would they choose? They came back and said they would want to do Batman: The Brave and the Bold. Now, I'm not against it. The Russo brothers' track record, guys. If you haven't been paying attention with the Russo brothers, I mean, with Civil War, with Infinity War, with Captain America: Winter Soldier, Extraction on Netflix, the Russo brothers have had quite the success record with superhero movies. So, if James Gunn did offer directors' roles to them, and did offer them Batman: The Brave and the Bold, I'm not against it, just because I think that they can actually do the series justice. But Joe, what do you think? I mean, like I said, if they did, would Batman: Brave and the Bold, could you see them doing that, or could you see them doing another DC Studios property?
No, they definitely know how to make $1 billion almost right out the gate. So I definitely see them taking Batman. I also see that they know material enough to that they have enough experience in adapting comic stories to where they could definitely direct this and make it a good adaptation of the Grant Morrison run, even though it still bothers me that this is Bruce Wayne and Damian as opposed to Dick and Damian, but that's nitpicking on my part. But we could definitely see that they can clearly give a direction that will make a successful movie.
Yeah, I got nothing against it, but then again, I have trust in Gunn. Gunn seems to have an idea where he wants to go with, especially with Superman Legacy, which I cannot wait. I cannot wait to actually get more from that. I mean, if you go on his Instagram, it did show a picture where he does have the script. The script is written, and they're starting pre-production, which means they're looking into costume, locations, and casting. So maybe a couple months down the road, we might have something. Like I said, we'll trust in Gunn. That's been my point on that.
Yep.
But I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I do have one news item since we're talking about casting and pre-production.
Go for it.
Today we will not be posting pictures of this, guys. I'm partisan Tennessee Ghostbusters. I will uphold the right of what we have stated in the group is we do have production photos on set of GB4, but unless they are released by Sony or Ghost Corps, we will not be promoting them. I can say we have seen Walter Peck in costume. We have seen Paul Rudd in costume. And we've seen one other piece of we've seen one other location shot, but again, we're not going to be posting photos. I will not be spoiling anything beyond. We've seen Walter Peck, we've seen Paul Rudd, and we've seen a location.
All right, cool, Walter Peck. Can you believe this man? Yes, I can't say whether or not he has a. You know what? Let me shut up.
No. I know this quote is like, is that true? Yes, Your Honor, it's true. This man has no dick.
I was trying to keep myself from not saying it, but that's good to know though, because I still want to know. I still want to see if they're going to go with the Hell's Kitchen for the title on that one. But
that would be nice.
That would be nice. But speaking of things that aren't nice, guys, again, kind of sticking with the DC frame, the Penguin, Colin Farrell's spinoff of Matt Reeves' Batman, did have a in-production trailer, and I'm going to be honest, I dig it.
This is one of those moments when you gotta ask yourself, what kind of life do I want? The world ain't built for guys like us. That's why we gotta take whatever we decide is ours.
This Carmine Falco's right hand. Try to push me out. Whoa, hey! You ain't seen what I can do.
If you step out of line, even once, I'll gut you like a goddamn fish. Can you imagine the people saying my name in the streets after you're gone? Have it mean something? The new Kingpin of Gotham.
And that, guys, is a pre-production trailer of The Penguin. And, of course, it is going to be streaming on Max because Max is the Max is the new name for HBO and Discovery merging all into one area. And so they decided to call it Max. Aside from that, aside from the weird changing of the name, the Penguin looks great. Colin Farrell looks like it's gonna be like a great story. To me, it's gonna do what Gotham intentionally was supposed to do, was basically give a world that Batman is there, but it's focused on the villain. And I like the fact that they're going with it. It's still gritty, it's still dark. They're still going over the Maroni and Falcone crime families. So I'm looking forward to this in 2024. I got no complaints. But Joe, any thoughts on that?
I mean, I dig it. It's like not something I was really clamoring for, but I will find a way to watch it. Is he dating Fish Mooney?
It looks like it.
Okay, I'm down. I mean, that's a little bit on the nose to me, but you know.
I mean, the way it looks, that's all. I was like, it really does look like they're an item in that, honestly. But either way, I guess we'll find out come next year. Because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get news about the Batman sequel. Of course, names have been thrown around which could possibly be in it. One was Clayface, and as much as I love Rogues from the animated series, that's gonna be a challenge if you're gonna use Clayface. That's all I'm saying. But speaking of challenges, guys, we did get some stills from the upcoming Doctor Who, which I did not think they would go this route. What I mean by that is this is the still pictures, of course, as you can see there. That's the 15th Doctor. Forgive me if I mispronounce your name, Mikade Goada, who will be the 15th Doctor, and of course, his companion, as you can see right there, is what was her name? Millie Gibson. There we go. Thank you, Millie Gibson. I had to think about it for a second, but that's actually one of the shots that we're doing. Because as you can see, Doctor Who was clean. I'm not mad about that look at all.
So I got one question on this: this is a production shot. Is this their everyday attire, or is this an episode where they're in the 60s and they are looking like this to blend in?
That's the wild part.
Either way, they're both like legit fire. But my question is this the everyday look, or is this the we're an adventure in a time period look?
You know, when I was reading the article, it read like it was a period piece, but I'm gonna be honest. If it is a period piece, I'm not mad about that. But if this is the way he's dressing, again, I'm all for it. Because it's a clean look. It's a clean look to have an Afro doctor. That's just me.
Clean look with an Afro doctor who stole David Tennant's penchant for pinstripe suits.
Yeah, but again, I'm not mad about it. But
no, I'm not either.
But yeah, it's just it looks like it's more of a period piece. I could be wrong about that. But I guess as we get closer, because David Tennant's second go around as the Doctor is wrapping up, so of course we will get the introduction of the 15th Doctor from there. But before we get into this next trailer, because I usually we save this for Joe's comic book pools, but we got to talk about this because before I go into the next trailer, the HellFire Gala.
Nobody will never not look pretty in that book.
Let me just hold up. Let's just start right there. Let's start with this. The HellFire Gala.
Which this year is an actual real thing you can attend.
Yeah.
It is an actual real life event.
You are 100% right. But where I'm stuck on, let's get to because again, let's just start with a few. Like Mary Jane and Black Cat, which, you know, of course, Black Cat, very elegant. Mary Jane, very elegant. Can't be mad.
I prefer Black Cat.
You're not the only one. But again, very elegant. And then we move on to
Patsy Walker, Hellcat.
Hellcat, which again, different, but stands out.
I like it.
Yeah. And we get Vision or Vishon, or depending on how you relate to him, who decided that today the HellFire Gala variant is going to be all about nature and abs. And again, I'm not mad about that.
Well, I mean, he took out the 4-pack and just installed a 12-pack.
Pretty much. But I'm not mad about that. Not at all. Of course, T'Challa as Black Panther, which, again, clean. Cannot be mad about that. From head to toe clean. And, of course, Captain Marvel, which...
Love Carol.
I almost swore it's Freddie Mercury. Someone is a Freddie Mercury fan of Queen. Because I looked at that, I'm like, that's the same jacket, just Captain Marvel styling. Either way, I'm good with it. That works. And then you have Deadpool.
No, that's not Deadpool. That's actually Fantomix.
Oh, I'm wrong.
He's just rocking the cover on the Deadpool cover.
Thank you. My apologies. But still, clean. Can't be mad about that. Of course, that
I clean up very well.
You've been hitting the gym a lot harder than me, sir. That's of course Nova. Nova looked half Spartan right there.
You know what the secret is? Is you don't eat in space for a long time. You can get thin real quick.
True, but I just want the helmet. Of course, I think that's
That's
Roger.
Johnny.
That's Johnny. Okay, I was gonna say I know it's not Roger.
So here's the one thing I love about this is this makes me think Johnny Bravo, not Johnny Blaze. Because of the pompadour and sunglasses.
I will never unsee that. I will never unsee that. God. Okay. And then,
the 5.
Yep. Which kind of gives me Game of Thrones vibes, but I'm okay with that. And of course, Miles Morales, who I'm not gonna lie. That is clean. The fact.
So
Go ahead.
Miles was invited this year. Peter was not because of the transgressions that Peter is going through, which no one likes, and his note should stop reading immediately so he can get a new writing team. But Miles looks fantastic.
Oh yeah, looks clean. And of course, Moon Knight, which is exactly as he retains it, as he's supposed to be.
So clearly, this is Steven's doing, not Mark's, not Jake. This is Steven's doing.
Yeah, fair. And Firestar, which I think
it is Firestar.
Okay, because I almost said Phoenix for a second, but Firestar.
I thought it was Maddie at first, and then I realized no, that's Firestar.
Yeah, and of course we have Jean Grey herself. Which
this is honestly kind of meh to me. I think it's the headpiece.
Yeah, I guess they were going for more Paris than London. Paris than London, I guess. But it's not bad. Thor been lifted. Thor has been lifted. Let's just be honest.
Thor hasn't been lifted. Thor's just all Father Thor again.
He just came out and just said, I only need one sash across the chest, and I have my walking stick. Who gonna say something?
He's got the runes, he's got the robe, he's got the cane. Just throw on in.
Pretty much. And of course,
Dylan.
Name already. Thank you. With Venom, which I thought was interesting how they actually came up with that suit. With the whole teeth. I mean, the whole teeth around the neck with the exposed jaws. I mean, that works. I can't be mad about that. And of course, new Wolverine. This is
old Laura, who now goes by Talon.
Yeah. Which again, not mad about it. Very, very goth chic. Still weird about the whole psionic.
See, I think she may have asked Betsy for those.
More than likely. But I'm not against it.
Oh, no, I know what it is.
What's that?
It's her boyfriend, Empath. He's giving her the psychic shades.
Gotcha. And of course, Kitty Pryde herself looking very marauder still.
I wish that book was better.
I mean, it's not. I mean, she's got the Marauders look, but cool. Dang it. Sync. Was it Sync?
No, it's Sync.
Okay.
It's Talon's boyfriend.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's Sync. Sync with the I'm like, this man has gold everywhere, but it's a good look. I'm not mad about that, although I wish he put on a shirt. Not to say I'm jealous that he got abs. But moving on. Shoot, help me out here. I forgot his name already.
Exodus.
Thank you. Very different, I guess. I really wasn't expecting that look, but I mean, it works.
I mean, Exodus was always a fabulous dresser, so this is just nothing new.
Yeah.
This is the problem I have.
Oh, how do we explain the Kingpin?
He's gone full Caligula.
I mean, with the leaves behind the ears, the rings on. I'm like, all he's missing is Caesar at this point. Wow. Although because of his marriage to Typhoid Mary, he was allowed to be on Krakoa. So, wow. And of course, the Scarlet Witch herself. Which again, I do love the artwork for that. The whole use of the watercolors and everything else. That's
cool.
Iceman. Clean.
His name is Iceman for multiple reasons.
Man, I can't be mad about that. Hallows Eve.
So the hilarious thing is her book is actually really decent.
I was going to ask you about that when you had a chance.
No, her book is actually really good because she uses the masks, but she also understands the consequences of the masks that she's wearing. So, like, she even says, like, I can't wear the Dracula mask. There are things I will do on that mask that are terrible. And then the whole thing right now is that she's used the werewolf mask, bit somebody, and they became a werewolf.
Wow. That's saying a lot. Emma Frost. Let's be honest, Emma Frost. She's always going to be stylish somewhere.
I mean, the woman is clearly right now sacrificing her feet for the sole sake of fashion, which is just Emma herself.
Pretty much. Of course.
And Charles just disappoints.
Charles with the cape. I can't really see Charles with the cape, but I guess it works.
And I guess a Shi'ar breastplate. I don't know. Like, this is probably the worst design, I think, out of all of them to me.
Just, it's different. And, of course, Bishop. So, again, I'm not mad about that. Kind of going back from his war college kind of fit, but I'm not against it.
Oh, sure. I forgot to put war college on there.
But, yeah. I mean, so far from the look of the HellFire Gala, it never disappoints as far as what they come up with for characters. And again, as Joe said, this year is different. You actually can attend it if you're able to. I can only imagine the fits there are going to be way better in person. But that's just me. But also another trailer I was going to get to, because like I said, we do have a kind of number of trailers to get into tonight. Joe brought this up to me, and again, this is another one from my childhood. I didn't think Tiny Toons could make a comeback. I really did not. And yet, they're about to release Tiny Toons Universary. So, I haven't seen the trailer yet, so this is going to be my first time watching it, so here it goes.
Come earn your Toon degree at Acme University.
We're here, we're here, we're here, we're here!
Acme Lu is responsible for shaping the greatest Toon since 1933. You're welcome. We've got everything to aid in your education. Large dormitory halls, a great campus meal plan, a state-of-the-art Toonie ball field, and a library, probably. Major in topics that really matter, while studying under our esteemed faculty and alumni. Here at Acme Lu, we take our Toon studies very seriously.
We've won every major academic award for tomfoolery.
Enroll at Acme University today and fulfill your potential. Get it?
Huh?
You know what? I'm not against it. Not against it. That's coming out this fall, Tiny Toons Tooniversary. And honestly, it's my hope that they actually keep the same magic that was with Tiny Toons Adventures in the first place. Just because we got our favorites, but I'm curious to see how they handle it during the college years. But anything you got to add to that, Joe?
I mean, I'm a little confused that they're playing up the fact that they're in Acme Lu, because that was the main setting from the last show. So I don't really understand what's changed between now and then in terms of setting, because, like I said, their school was Acme University. So that was already technically a college setting. Now they're just playing it up. It's even more of a college setting.
Seems like it. It'll be interesting to see, though.
The one thing I did notice,
mm-hmm.
we saw no Montana Max in this.
Yeah, that is also true. Not to say actually, I've known that many.
Or Elmira.
Huh?
Or Elmira.
That's also true. I don't know, because maybe it's one of those things that will show, because of the trailer, we may have not seen it, but I'll be curious to see if they do, or if they even address it, or they'll sit there and say they went to a different college. I'm really curious to see what they'll do. But anyway, that's going to be coming up this fall. Hopefully we'll get dates as they come along. But speaking of other news, very quickly, especially sticking to Disney Plus, if you're Spider-Man fans, you're actually going to be very pleasantly surprised. As of today, Spider-Man, the original Sam Raimi run, Spider-Man 1 through 3, is available now on Disney Plus. The Amazing Spider-Man, which also starred Andrew Garfield, will also be available on Disney Plus as of today. And come May 12th, Spider-Man Homecoming will also be available on Disney Plus for all your Spider-Man needs. Again, Spider-Man, despite if you like Tobey Maguire, if you like Tom Holland, if you like Andrew Garfield, you really didn't go wrong with either Spider-Man. All three guys played the role admirably. So, there's that. But again, to actually have it all in one spot, because it just tells me that Sony and Disney may have finally struck a deal to where I guess, let's be honest, money's always involved. So I guess once the right number came along, we get to actually stream Spider-Man all over again. But Spider-Man isn't the only thing coming to Disney Plus, guys. Stan Lee, the original documentary for Stan Lee, will actually be coming to Disney Plus on June 16th, which basically goes over the life of the man who basically helped bring about one of the greatest comic book companies in history, in which they will cover Stan Lee's life. And again, I'm not against it because there's a lot to that man that I didn't know about. And because my son was doing a history project on Stan Lee, I didn't know that there's actually a lot of fun facts about him, which I hope they do cover in this documentary. But again, that comes out June 16th on Disney Plus. But I am definitely looking forward to that. The next trailer, guys, is a video game. Well, it's a video game, but it's not really a video game. It's Resident Evil Death Island. And before I play this is one thing I've always said about Resident Evil, that when it comes to live action, it just never seems to get it right. But whenever it's CGI or animated, it's great. With that being said, here's Resident Evil Death Island.
After all she's been through, she's trying to make up for what happened to her.
You mean how Wesker brainwashed her and made her come after us? No one's blaming Jill for that.
No one. Except Jill.
Dr. Taylor?
Yes, we need him in custody ASAP.
I checked the DNA we got from a bite wound on an orca carcass.
It had a strain of T virus in it. You're kidding.
I found the connection between the folks that were infected. They all visited Alcatraz recently.
Well, Dr. Taylor, it's time we debuted our creation.
God damn it!
They turn fast and without being bitten.
I'm Rebecca. What do you want me to tell them?
Someone accessed the DoD's server. They managed to steal data on Leon, Jill, Chris, and Claire.
You think this might have something to do with the opera on now?
Most likely.
I'm going to use my virus to clean the slate.
Dylan!
Suckers, you're nothing more than pawns.
That can't be good.
Yeah.
Doc!
Excuse me?
He's all yours.
We're at the final stage now. That there is no justice.
Well, it's over now, asshole! Time to light you up!
Let's do it, all of us.
Biohazard, Death Island.
Definitely going on vacation after this.
Okay, so that was Resident Evil Death Island. As you can see, looks like it does have a July 7th date. And I said this before, the one thing I don't get about Resident Evil, you think by now, why does everybody still have sidearms? If you're facing undead, don't you think you need a little bit more in the weaponry department? I'm just pointing that out because every time we see Resident Evil, it's always sidearms. You might see a grenade or a rocket launcher, but it's always sidearms.
I can answer that.
Go for it.
Barry took them all when he went for Resident Evil Extraction.
Wouldn't be surprising, but no, I mean, it's going to be interesting just because they're kind of doing like a wide team up. But like I said, we're going to come find it out come July the 7th.
I do know that Rebecca is played by Erin Cargill. Cargill. For those of you that are familiar with Power Rangers, she is the first female leader of the Power Rangers.
I am so glad. Go ahead.
Pink Time Force.
Okay. I'm glad you brought up Power Rangers because I wanted to know, because before I go into the Star Trek trailer, sir, me and you and Shadow did cover it on Ranger Ops. Y'all guys did the watch through of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, once a Ranger, always a Ranger. I was trying to catch up with you guys. But really quickly, sir, your impressions on the Netflix special.
It's a solid B.
You think it's a B? Now, I will say
it's a B because, like, I don't think they do enough to push forward the next generation of the Mighty Morphin team. Like, we continuously hear about Cat and Tommy's son, who could be a Ranger at this point. We definitely know he will be one because, I mean, we have Soul of the Dragon, where he is a drummed out SPD cadet that was actually taken in for special ops and cover ops later on down the road and whatnot. But there were some things like I just wish we got to see some of the other Rangers that were captured and they're capturing, be they suit only, whatnot. I find it very odd that some of these Rangers declined and they still use the ADR for their actual voice work, and Amy Jo Johnson declined returning, but they saw no problem not only ADRing her, but using a whole song segment from old captured footage. I wonder if that's like a Star Wars use their likeness thing.
Well, I mean, I see your point because I watched it and I was like, you know what? It did bring back all the feels from the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I like the fact that Billy really got some shine.
Billy really got shine.
Billy really got some shine on this one. That's what I loved about that one, just because if you haven't been following this actor who does play Billy on the show, that he did endure a lot of harassment and bullying on the show.
I mean, there's just other things that just didn't make sense to me. If you think about it as an adult, like, so Zach became a congressman, but he's got to move in with Min.
Yeah.
What happened to Homeboy's like tenured pension plan for being a former congressman? Like, I gotta ask that. Like, they literally say, "I can't believe you gave up being a senator in Congress to raise me," but you're living in her house,
right?
But also, there's the other thing of all the civilians are safe, all the places are destroyed. Let's get out of here. There are still 2 monsters in the immediate vicinity from all these people.
Well, it's like when we guys talk about a Ranger. Well, you guys talk about a Ranger ops. I was like, correct me if I'm wrong, but don't Rocky and Cat still have access to the Zeo powers?
Yeah, I brought that up. It's like, I guess it's because they wanted him to be strictly Mighty Morphin, but like those two didn't ever have their powers taken.
And we never did. I mean, the Zeo crystals weren't exactly destroyed. So
I think the bizarre thing is that since their power's always growing, at some point the power gain would be too much for the human body to handle.
Okay, I can go with that.
We're going with the thing. It's like, and then Billy developed the turbo powers.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, it's different, but again, like I said, it's still a great movie for you guys. If you are, like I said, if you're of the older generation, remember Power Rangers, definitely give it a shot because they do try to get some nostalgia. We won't go too much into it because again,
we got a whole episode of Raindrops talking about it, and
yeah.
We sit there and kind of rip this thing apart as well. As much as we admire it, we MST3K'd that thing too.
Fair enough, but still, I still think it was great. I mean, for what it was, for what it actually was, I think it was great. And
I was so disappointed with the Megazord finisher in that one. It's like, I'm just gonna slightly jab you in the ribs.
That was kind of cold blooded though. It's like, I'm not gonna. You don't deserve the full slash.
You don't deserve the full slash. I'm just gonna gently jab you in the ribs.
Oh God. With that being said, guys, like I said, it's on Netflix. You guys definitely check it out. Let us know what you think. Moving right along, guys. Again, I know I'm behind with Star Trek. I am still catching up on Picard. I am avoiding every spoiler about the third and final season because I know who's a part of it, and I know what they've done so far. What do you say, Joe?
I'm on episode 3 of the third season. Not going to spoil anything for you because I want you to enjoy, but I am having a good time. It is nice to see returning actors and actresses.
Cool. Now, also with Picard, Star Trek Strange New Worlds. Again, I'm trying to catch up on that series as well. They actually dropped a second season trailer for it, and here it is.
In the mystery and vastness of space, we come together. So many crew members from so many planets, everyone on their own journey.
Ready for some fancy flying, Erica?
Oh, you know I've got this.
I'm thinking it's a sign that the freckles in our eyes are mirror.
Meet James Kirk. You have an energy.
What?
It's making me sweat.
I used to think of myself as always alone. Not on this ship.
3 great wonders and great danger. The next great age of exploration. It starts with us.
You gonna say your thing? Everyone in the chair has their thing.
I would like the ship to go. Now.
Never seen a revolving door before.
I'm from space.
And that was the trailer for season 2 of Star Trek Strange New Worlds. As you can see, guys, we are going to get introduced to Captain Kirk, not as a captain yet, but we will get introduced to Kirk sometime during the second season, which does start streaming on Paramount Plus June 15th. I have got to finish the first season.
So there's one particular thing they are not showing.
What's that?
I think for them, there's going to be a series crossover in season 2, where Mariner and Boimler are going to cross into the real world on Strange New Worlds. Spock, Ansem, and Una are going to cross over into the animated world of Lower Decks.
That's going to be cool.
Also, I noticed one other thing in this trailer. Remember our last season we had an Aliens episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you pay close enough to this trailer, there's an Alien 3 reference.
I got 2 spots, but I'm trying to think.
It's where the alien gets right next to his face.
Yeah.
Got his head turned.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, there's the Alien 3. So we may get an Alien 3 episode, which means they're gonna go to a prison of all people.
Yep, that's gonna be interesting. But that's not the only Star Trek news we do, guys, because Michelle Yeoh is just on a run.
Oh yeah.
She is on a major run, especially if you haven't seen The School for Good and Evil on Netflix. Of course, her Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, and the accolades she's gotten from that. She also
Disney Plus series Growing Up Chinese or something.
Yeah, Growing Up Chinese, that's going to come out on Disney Plus. Michelle Yeoh is a very busy woman, even more so on Star Trek, because if you've been following Discovery, she is basically the machine behind Section 31. It was just announced a couple of days ago that there will be a Star Trek Section 31 movie starring the award-winning actress herself. And I'm cool with this because if you've seen Star Trek Discovery, the fact that her character Giorgio is going to get their own movie on this, I'm not complaining. I am all for this. Now, of course, we don't have any information on this yet. This was just announced, so as far as dates and when it's going to come out on Paramount Plus, it's still up in the air. But I am all for this.
So I'm wondering if this is going to team her up against an older Bashir or against an older Bashir.
I'm gonna go with the latter. The latter is what I'm going with. But I love the fact that right now she is really having, along with her, Brendan Fraser, Kiwai Kwan, and a handful of others that are just getting they're getting the sauce right now, and I am not against it. What were you gonna say, Joe?
Yawning.
Oh, sorry. But yeah, not against it. Now, things I am against, however, because I'm not sure. Okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this trailer because honestly, I thought the last movie would have solved this, but apparently, Legendary Pictures has decided that Kong and Godzilla has to have another movie. Here's the teaser trailer for it. Okay, I have a whole bunch of questions. Now, I know that was a teaser trailer, which, as you can see, comes out in 2024. Now, we do see what looks to be the throne room from the previous movie, where Godzilla was followed. Where I'm sorry, not Godzilla, where the humans were following King Kong in the Hollow Earth and found his celestial homeland, found the throne room with nothing but bones. And of course, that's where he creates the axe to fight Godzilla and Mechagodzilla with. Now, in this trailer, it looks like we're back there concerning the fact of the bones and the throne, and we see, I can't call that Godzilla. What did you call that in the group chat, Joe? Because I can't call him Godzilla. He was
him?
I'm sorry, that wasn't King Kong. What did you call it? What did you call that in the group chat?
That's Donkey Kong from Donkey Kong 64. He's out for revenge for not being in the last Kong movie, the last Kong video game, the new Super Mario Brothers thing. So now Lanky Kong is mad and out for revenge.
I mean, I just can't get past that. I mean, that the Kong I'm used to was big, he was beefy, you really couldn't miss him. This guy looks like he missed a few meals. At the same time,
I don't even think he's a Kong. I think he's something else. He may be a rival tribe because if you brighten it up, brighten up, he's a giant orangutan.
Okay.
He's not an ape. He's a giant orangutan. So like I said, he could be a rival ape giant ape tribe in Hollow Earth. That's quite possible. Honestly, I'm a little bummed because there's only one other king in the monster world, other than King Ghidorah. So there's like Godzilla, King Kong, King Ghidorah. There's King Caesar.
Yeah.
So I was kind of bummed that this wasn't like the giant Chinese dog god monster from that had a really, if you're, I'll just say it, a really groovy song to wake them up. Look, dude, it was the 70s. That's not my fault.
That's all they had. Go ahead. That's all they had.
That's all they had.
That's all they had. Go with that.
So I was kind of bummed we aren't getting like a King Caesar because that would have been really cool. But, original monster, we have the Mudos, which are also original monsters. So having original creatures is not unheard of. We've already seen other original monsters. It's just having an evil orangutan kind of just seems lackluster. And of course, the moment this dude talks in normal human speech,
it's gonna be
we're all gonna shut up. But
yeah, I just maybe, like I said, the trailer itself really didn't give a lot of hype to it as far as Godzilla and King Kong basically teaming up to fight another monster again. But hopefully, like I said, the trailer comes out 2024 next year, so hopefully we'll get some more information about that.
And I'm sure we'll have a human B plot with characters that we will love and be endeared to, and want to see nothing but them and ignore all the monster fights.
Yeah, or just watch the Matthew Broderick Godzilla all over again. But that being said,
I had Hank Azaria to keep me company in that movie.
But that being said, guys, also from Paramount, we did get news that Knuckles will be getting his own live-action spinoff which is actually going to also be on Paramount Plus. Now, the events behind Knuckles, Idris Elba will be voicing Knuckles once more again as the Embala Cheetah. And now the story with this spinoff show, guys, this is following what happens after Sonic the Hedgehog 2, and it's supposed to be in between. It's supposed to be after 2, but before Sonic the Hedgehog 3. So it's going to be interesting where they take Knuckles, because currently he's still on Earth, still defending the Master Emerald with Sonic and Tails in Green Hills. I'm not against it because they've actually done Sonic very well, and I think the first movie and the second movie were both exceptionally done very well. So I've got no concerns that Knuckles will not be a great series by itself. But any thoughts on that, Joe?
I mean, the whole point is he's going to be training Wade Whipple, the deputy sheriff.
Yeah.
Who's probably the same intelligence level as the Tick.
But still funny.
But without the strength. I do dig that he gets his old Sonic the Hedgehog Archie comic hat.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we're going to get Archimedes the Fire Ant as his conscience. You know what I'm talking about. That's a deep cut. I wonder if they're going to get the woolly mammoth Kingpin, too, to be his arch nemesis. I'm cutting even deeper. No, I'm looking forward to it. Speaking of that, do you think that we're going to be getting Mario Brothers is going to be $1 billion?
It's getting that way.
We're at 700 million, I think.
I think it will cross the $1 billion mark just because I haven't seen it yet. I'm hoping, like I said before, being a new parent. I know Joe's seen it twice. Being a new parent, I got to kind of wait to see things as I used to. But from what I've seen and heard from everybody, the Super Mario Bros. Was actually a great movie. And like I said, box office numbers don't lie. Already over 700 million. It may actually cross the $1 billion mark and be what? The number...
It's already the number one movie, animated and best video game adaptation.
Okay, I was just about to ask that question. So yeah, I'd say get past $1 billion.
I mean, the movie itself, without any spoils, what makes this movie so good is it's fun for the family. It's a very simple story. We're not like, no one's going to be delving into deep personal traumas or trying to achieve self-actualization or realization throughout the whole thing. Although Bowser, that may be something else entirely. But on top of that, it's a short movie. It's only an hour and 32 minutes, so it's a quick, fun, simple movie, which, you know, I think that's something a lot of critics are forgetting that movies can be these days, which is why this reviewed so poorly, is they're used to deep introspection and like large plots. And, you know, in the Mario Brothers, whole point is go to the castle, beat the turtle, rescue the princess.
Yeah, and get told the princess is another castle.
Now, if we want atmospheric and deep personalizations, that's a Metroid movie. If you want the grand epic adventure, that's the Zelda movie.
What's the love? Huh? I'm sorry, I was in my own head for a second. A Metroid movie, but I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, although the Metroid movie, if they do that animation, I need it animated like Puss in Boots' Last Wish or Spider-Verse for Metroid, because that's the only way that's going to work.
That's the only way it's going to work. Yeah, I was going to say.
Unless you're really wanting to do just dust off the old Alien set and use that, because that's also acceptable.
Set-wise, yes, but
you just toss in some alien pirates, and you know.
But then you got to think the suit, and then how the weapons, it may work. I could be overthinking it. It could work. But speaking of that, though, because again, with Mario Brothers having success as far as movie theater goes, we do have to talk about television shows because thankfully there wasn't a Flash episode this week. Superman Lois did not have an episode this week as well, although the Inner Gang storyline is picking up, especially the fact that it looks like they're going to bring back Bizarro Superman, which looks like it. But the other show that they actually did wrap up its season finale was The Mandalorian. Now, for the simple fact of the matter, guys, I am not going to go into detail about what happened with the series finale just because it does bring up a lot of questions. However, I will sit there and say that it was very enjoyable. I I like the fact of how they're kind of teasing what happens next with Mando's story and Grogu's story. But overall, no complaints. I highly recommend to watch it. Maybe once a week goes by, we'll probably bring this back up again and really give our thoughts about what happens next season. Or if we're going to see a Boba Fett, also known as Mandalorian Season 2. But for right now, I'm just going to give my opinion and say the season finale was great. No complaints. Highly recommend you should watch it if you haven't already. Joe, any thoughts?
Lots of baby Grogu mashing that yes button. Yes, yes.
He stayed with mashing the yes button. But overall, no complaints.
Titans had an interesting episode.
Go for it.
I kind of was not paying, I'll be honest, I was kind of using Titan as background thing. And then something weird happened to Beast Boy where he was going through the multiverse. And started seeing things from The Flash. Stargirl made a quick appearance. Superman, Batman. Like, it was really weird. Like, that made me look, I was like, maybe I should have been paying attention to this episode a bit more.
No, don't feel bad. I still got to catch up on Titans. I am way behind on Titans, so I'm hoping you'll be catch up with that very soon. Especially at that part, because some people did mention that Beast Boy was kind of stuck in a multiverse and he was seeing different things.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
That's what I looked up. It's like, what did I miss?
But no, I'll have to catch up with that as well. So the last couple of trailers we got, guys, before we get to our comic book pulls. This one, again, my game backlog seems to be climbing ever so highly now, especially with the announcement of Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed that actually is going to be coming out in 4 days. Here's the trailer.
Niall! Granddad!
Matthew,
Granddad!
take care of Niall. The future.
Granddad!
It's in your hands, Matthew.
What is that? That weapon. Can't be a blade.
All right, break it up. You want to scrap? You scrap with me.
I don't normally stoop to this. Such duplicity is beneath me. The clockless.
What do you want to do, Shulk?
Careful!
I like your attitude, kiddo. I'll show him a thing goes free.
I put two philosophies together to double my power. Those are not but a pointed breakthrough.
Polar power. It's a good moment for us. Lord!
Let's see it, Glimmer. Here I go.
With or without Mobius, nothing will change.
Niall?
In the end, people always kill people.
I heard about that from Melia. A gift from Alvis, she called it. This it? Yes. The Liberator's base of operations.
Is this how badly you wish to erase us? My God.
You cannot
But now I'm glad I'm here. Glad I can choose for myself.
Honestly, just knowing who I'm meant to be fighting, that's the biggest thing of all.
Even having built the perfect world for themselves, humans yet desired the beyond.
Matthew! Always in fantasy land.
I've seen that look before. The stare of your fear.
And this is why I have a backlog. Now, as you can see, guys, that is Xenoblade Chronicles 3 Future Redeemed. That'll be coming out in 4 days, actually, for the Nintendo Switch. And I am going to have a backlog and a half of games I'm trying to catch up on. But, Joe, what do you think about it? Oh. Hang on, Joe. Try talking again. I can't hear you. Yep, still can't hear you. Uh-oh. Try now. Nothing. Okay. Well, while Joe gets those audio issues together, we can see what's actually going on with that. But yeah, this is the reason why I know for most games, like I said, when you get a kid, you get a backlog.
What about now?
Yep, now you're coming in. Go for it.
Okay. So, first, I just take the internet because it's raining like crap over here. So, Lord only knows what that's actually going to do to my stuff. I'm definitely playing this. I got a full weekend to beat Mega Man Battle Network 2 because I'm currently playing Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. We'll talk about that in a moment. I will definitely be getting this and playing this. I'm wondering if there's a time skip in the middle of this game because I think this is before the third game, because the opening sequence is the destruction of the human city the first time, which we see in Xenoblade 3. And the fact that both Shulk has both arms and Rex has both eyes. But later on, you see Rex loses an eye and Shulk's clearly missing an arm.
Okay.
So I wonder if that's some of this takes place before Xenoblade 3 and after Xenoblade 3, or this whole thing is setting up Xenoblade 3.
Possibly. Well, I wouldn't be against it, though. Like I said, I just have to buy that and add it to my Switch category that just seems to be ever getting so longer, along with Breath of the Wild. But while we got time, what were you going to say about Mega Man Battle Legacy?
Oh, I'm loving it. It's a lot of fun. I think the most fun thing is the fact that they actually got the gentleman that did Mega Man's voice from the NT Warrior series to come back and do voice work, and same with the Japanese actor for Rockman Battle Network in Japan. They both come back and do voice work as the main screen avatar, which you will do things and say things depending on what you do or how much you do, or even the time of day. You can turn it on in 2:39 minutes. Like, why are you still here? Go to sleep.
That's creepy at the same time.
Also in Japan, this is the top-selling game on the Switch this week. I believe it shipped 52,000 copies on the Switch and a little over 1,000 copies on the PlayStation 4, which, if you're playing Mega Man Battle Network, you get it on the Switch so you can take it places.
Yeah.
But this is a fantastic turnout. This is sold the best out of all the Legacy collections. So hopefully that means Capcom, because for those unaware, a Legacy collection is how Capcom tosses out a net and see what their engagement is with this certain license.
Pretty much.
Which is why we're never seeing a Darkstalkers game ever again. That thing sold like crap.
You had to bring that up.
Well, I mean, it's just true. Like, I have to use a fair comparison, and Darkstalkers is the most apt comparison. That's Ono's fault for saying Darkstalkers is not dead at an event and not getting permission.
Fair.
So, I mean, the Capcom fighting game collection, I think, did a little bit better and raised Darkstalkers' profile a little bit. But, like, this has blasted all the previous Capcom Legacy collections out of the water. Like, everybody is getting this. The drawbacks, the other thing that's a bonus for this game is we get all the Japanese events and chips that you could only get in Japan live events.
Okay.
You can download that in the game. We get an additional 499 additional chips from the old Game Boy Advance e-reader card collection.
Okay.
If you don't remember what that is, it was an attachment you could put on the Game Boy Advance, and they were trying to do like card swiping.
Yeah.
For card code. Yeah. In Japan, they made 499 battle chip exclusives for that thing.
Huh.
So we get all those chips. We get the reintegration of the Boktai, The Sun is in Your Hands segment in Battle Network 6. Base can now be used. The Japan-only base Fusion Soul can now be accessed.
Okay.
The one drawback is that we were misreported that the script got reworked. So all the old translations are still in there, including the Mega Man Battle Network 2 Netrunner Speedy Dave, owner of Quickman, and Mega Man telling Land Legs Go as opposed to Let's Go. So we still got the goofy translation errors. There is no autosave feature. So you still got to save scum the crap out of your game.
Yeah.
The other downside, I will say, and I am giving a lot of downsides, but that's because there are so many upsides to this, and it's so much fun, is that they didn't give us the updated version of Mega Man Battle Network 1. They didn't give us, because they came up with a new one called Mega Man Battle Network 1 Star Command, which kind of crosses over Star Force, but also gives a lot of quality of life improvements on Battle Network 1.
Okay.
Battle Network 1 is bare bones, and we got the original version of Battle Network 1.
Gotcha.
So you don't really need to play Battle Network 1 is what I'm getting at. You can start the story at Battle Network 2, and you don't miss much.
I was gonna say it sounds like skipping one is not gonna hurt. That's all.
No, skipping one is not gonna hurt. We also have a mode called Buster Max mode where every individual shot deals 100 damage. Charge shots deal standard damage, but the more you increase the Mega Man Buster thing, the more that increases. So I got Mega Man Buster's Power 4, so every shot is doing 400 damage.
Okay.
So you can breeze through game 1, you can breeze through game 4, which is the worst game out of all 6. That was when Battle Network 4 tried to do a tournament arc and did it very poorly.
Sounds like it. Okay. That's cool. That's good to know, though. So we do have one last trailer before we get to our comic book pulls, guys. Again, if you're a fan of Horizon Forbidden West, the DLC, The Burning Shores, is coming out, and here's the launch trailer for it.
Rated T for teen.
The enemy is headed south, to the Burning Shores.
My people are lost and scattered. What could he possibly want with them?
We have to find out no matter what it takes. He's up to something big. Every tribe, every one, is in danger.
And as you can see, guys, right there for the world to see, it is out now. Actually, for PS5, yes, PS5, because next gens are happening. Let's just call it what it is. But the DLC, The Burning Shores for Horizon Forbidden West, is out on PS5 for you to enjoy. Joe, I know you're planning on. Are you planning to play The Burning Shores? I know you played for it. I know you played for it.
At some point, I got other things I'm trying to do. Side note, Ghostbuster Spirits Unleashed its new update, and all the Extreme Ghostbuster equipment is out on it. So I am grinding that game like you wouldn't believe to unlock all the Extreme Ghostbusters equipment, because if you've seen my Proton Pack, I'm a minor fan of Extreme Ghostbusters. I have the back pain to experience it. But yes, I will be doing that at some point. The other news we have combined with Horizon Forbidden West is, unfortunately, because of the passing of Lance Reddick, they are having to substantially rewrite the third game because his character was going to be a pivotal character in the third game.
Yeah.
More than likely, we're going to be playing as Silas at some point.
Yeah.
So now they are having to rewrite the whole script and swap out characters and whatnot.
Although, do rest in peace to Lance Reddick, because
Yes.
whether from The Wire, whether from Destiny, whether from Horizon Forbidden West, whether from
The
John
Eric
Wick.
Andre show where it scared the crap out of him.
Yeah, I mean, we can go down the list, but yeah, that man will definitely he will be missed. But yeah, that's really all that we have. I know
Well, we still got some more shenanigans on my end because the backlash from Justice League killed the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League caught up with them.
They pushed it back again.
Oh no, this is now pushed back a full year. The new release date is February 2024.
So they killed the live service, as they should.
They are saying, thank you for the welcome feedback. We will be doing our best to make the game a quality of standard that we hope all of our audience will enjoy, meaning, yeah, we're stripping out all the live service,
killing the live
and we are
service.
going to rethink some things because everybody pointed out those flaws.
Yeah, they're killing live service, as they should.
What was some of the other stuff? Where's my phone? I had other shenanigans. I promise. There you are. Feet. My feet, they're lead. What were some other things we had on here that I put last moment? Come on. We got a show to do. We're on a time frame here. There we go. Good phone. CM Punk will be returning to AEW shortly.
Dear God.
Lord only knows when.
Why? Just why?
The man wants to make money. He says he's opening to working with everybody in the locker room and promises to be a better team player.
If this is supposed to be a shoot work, this is long-term booking fail at its finest.
Yep. You're not wrong. The Transformers. We are supposed to be getting an animated movie next year. They have officially said that the premise of this animated feature will be exploring the origins of not only Optimus Prime, but Megatron. To which I say, you better be using the IDW origins as your template.
I kind of fear that they're
I
not.
better see Optimus Prime as a lowly security guard, and Megatron better be Gladiator turned freedom fighter turned tyrant.
Yeah, but that's if they're using the original source material. That's a mighty big if.
Yeah, I know. What were some of the other things on here? Once Forever. We did get a trailer for a sneak preview trailer from the upcoming Venture Brothers movie, so it is still happening. They assured us that it is still happening. It is called what's it called? It's got some ridiculous name. Radiance is the blood of the baboon heart.
Okay. That's not beyond the realm, but okay.
I mean, it's Venture Brothers. I wouldn't put them past there on that thing. Up, down, down is WWE is now allowing wrestlers to go back to streaming after new deals with Twitch.
Yeah, because they want their cut of the pie too, because wrestlers were making buku bucks and WWE's like, we can't get it. Which led to a lot of social media. It's with a lot of them. That's where Styles and Tyler Breeze and really a lot of them were actually making buku bucks off stream gaming, and yet WWE outside of Up, Down, Down, because unfortunately Up, Down, Down is owned by WWE, which is the only reason that Xavier Woods was still allowed to stream the entire time.
Yep.
But the guy built the channel from the ground up. I have to give him all the respect in the world for that.
Kevin Feige, in an attempt to prove its standings with the audience, will no longer be using inexperienced directors and will try to be courting higher notable directors in the future for future Marvel projects.
Sounds like he heard everybody from Love and Thunder.
Probably. Well, Taika Waititi is an experienced director. It's just I think he leaned too far into the comedy on that one.
Well, he saw how good Ragnarok did and was like, let's just amp it up.
Yeah, but I think he amped in the wrong direction.
Pretty much.
Monster Hunter Rise had its digital event letting us know its new monster and whatnot. We get a giant dragon named Amada, as well as we'll be getting a 6th update, which surprised everybody.
And another game that's going to be in the backlog. But go ahead.
Yep. We already talked about Witch from Mercury. If that surprises you guys, please stay away from Victory Gun. You'll only hurt yourself.
Please stay away from Gun. No. Do not deter them. Have them watch.
Look, they're already traumatized that their girl with raccoon noises is in trouble.
No.
I don't want to send them down a road that's going to lead them to therapy.
No, sir. Commitment is everything. Commitment is everything.
They have to build slowly. Let them start slow. Let them deal with the man who doesn't like carrots. And,
Hey, wait. We got thrown to the fire. They can do the same thing we did.
We got thrown to the fire with 5 pretty boys that shoot giant beams.
And
we never got victory in English.
We survived.
We survived because we got a giant robot that strokes your face until it explodes.
Still, they'll be okay. They will be fine.
I don't think so. No, even I know better than that. Even my sister told me, don't do that to these poor people. Galaxy Quest is apparently going to be having a television series going forward.
Interesting.
The Triple H era officially begins at the WWE draft. A lot of us are immediately calling BS on this because we know Vince is back in creative.
Of course.
So, yeah.
The fact of the matter that they're putting Triple H at the forefront of everything does nothing for us because Mr.
We
Vincent
know who's the driver sitting in.
He's sitting there just watching us dance. Like, we know the match building. Come on now. You immediately put Cody Rhodes into the mid-card universe with Brock Lesnar. We knew that was you. I'm just saying.
Mortal Kombat 2 reveals its movie sequel's villain. If you don't know who this is, you've never played a Mortal Kombat game. I'm not even spoiling that. You should just know.
I just gotta sit there and just wonder because I just hope the writing is better on this one than it was in the initial one. Because I
hope the first fight kills Cole and we can move on to Johnny Cage.
If the Miz from WWE has his way, he wants to play Johnny Cage. That's saying something.
And do we want to talk about King?
As of the moment, he's still there.
Jonathan Majors is still employed by Disney. I think so. In recent light, because we're moving closer to his trial date, Jonathan Majors has been dropped by his agency and his managerial team. However, Disney learning from their mistakes, and I do believe this. I absolutely underbelieve this. Disney learning from what they did with James Gunn and what it cost them.
Yeah.
Is not making a move or saying anything about Jonathan Majors until after the trial.
Yeah, because they learned that between James Gunn and Johnny Depp, they learned their lesson about acting too quickly.
Yeah.
They learned that lesson. So
yeah, James Gunn cost them dearly.
All I can say for Jonathan Majors, I hope whatever evidence you have, sir, exonerates you because the text messages did not help you at all. If anything, it was more creepy than helpful. So whatever other evidence is out there, sir, I hope it exonerates you because we were really looking forward. I mean, now if you did the crime, you did the crime. Let's just call it what it is. But the fact of the performances that you gave in Quantum Mania as Kang and then in Loki, and we'll probably be giving in Loki season 2 as Victor Timely, it's just like I hope you did not mess up your own bag. That's all I can sit there and say until the trial. Like I said, everybody's got a trial. Everybody's got a right to be proved, a right to be presumed innocent until guilty till you go to court. But like I said, hopefully it works out in your favor.
Only other bit of news before we jump into comics is the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild final trailer came out. We got to see Ganon. Ganon has immediately been sexualized by the majority of the internet, as is standard affair.
That didn't take long.
I mean, it happened as soon as they saw the fact that he's shirtless and is carrying a katana. What are you going to do? Other than that, it shows that there's possibly dungeons, meaning I will be playing the game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I told you there'd be dungeons. I told you there'd be dungeons.
Well,
in Breath
I
of the Wild.
wanted visual confirmation. I wanted there to be more than the little mini dungeons.
Oh,
I want to run through places and
I was
fight
gonna
a
say,
giant boss at the end of each dungeon.
Be careful what you wish for. You make it the water temple times 2.
I can deal with the water temple.
I didn't. That stressed me out. That's why I was like, the water temple stressed me out in Ocarina of Time. That's why I was like, ugh, I'd rather not. But again, I'm all for dungeons, and Breath of the Wild 2 is again another Zelda game I cannot wait to get. But yeah, looking forward to it. I see. I got you, Joe. So, whenever you're ready, sir.
Okay, I got 2 surprises in here. One is purely for comedic effect. One is just because this is kind of important. So the first one is Wonder Woman 789 or 798, excuse me. This is written by, everything is being covered up by the text list, and this is also very small. Zoom, enhance. Becky Kalunin, Michael Conrad with art by Anamake Nuhupalan. I am not able to pronounce that. My apologies. Colors is Tamara Bonvillain. So we're not going to delve too much into this book. The biggest takeaway from this issue is Wonder Woman attains full godhood by becoming the new champion of Shazam. Because Mary, being the current champion of Shazam, bequeaths all the powers of Shazam to Wonder Woman. Meaning Wonder Woman gets all the powers of the god, making her from demigod status to full god status. As a result of that, Mary has traded powers with Wonder Woman. So now Mary has all of Wonder Woman's powers.
Interesting.
Because Wonder Woman just said a fair trade's a fair trade. So I bequeath to you items on the god which will give you my abilities. So given that she has the powers of the god, she just immediately starts having a really epic, very terrifying lady fight between her and Hera. We'll leave it at that. Just the biggest point is Wonder Woman is currently the new Shazam.
Okay.
And Mary Marvel is now just Mary Marvel. Moving on, we have Superman number 3, written by Josh Williamson, art and cover art by Jamal Campbell, and lettering by Arania Mar. This finishes out the first arc of Superman. This is the Night of the Parasite. Clark does have to actually go to Lex for help and Livewire so that they could find a way to get Rudy to undo everything that's going on. We see Superman gets a new suit to a degree, the anti-parasite suit.
Yeah.
Just a good book. And then at the end of the book, Superman does in fact take over LexCorp and officially calls it Supercorp.
Yeah, it's just that the parasite arc was just, in order for him to basically survive, he had to be a cannibalist. That's kind of generic, but it was an okay issue.
I enjoyed it. It was fun. In this scenario, the art kind of makes up for the story in some parts. Because, Jamal Campbell just does fantastic artwork.
Yeah, I mean, the artwork is great. The story itself it just felt a little flat considering the fact of how the previous issue started.
Yeah, but this is going to be like a series of bizarre encounters because we see that this cabal of evil scientists that probably not even Luthor knows, but I guarantee you he knows.
Mm-hmm.
Their next empowered, enhanced villain is going to be Silver Banshee.
Yeah.
So we're kind of using the B tier of Superman villains because we haven't used them in a while. So getting to see Silver Banshee is going to be probably fun. I guarantee you after Silver Banshee, we may get Atomic Skull.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not against Banshee. It's just that because it's a new direction. And you know what? Let me not say anything. Let me just wait to the next issue, and then I'll pass my judgment from there. Let me do that.
Moving on, we have Superboy Man of Tomorrow, #1. This is written by Kenny Porter with art, color, and cover by Janoy Lindsay and lettering by Lucas Gattini. So the whole crux of this is Connor before the formation of the full formation of the Super Family, and just in Action Comics 1051. This is kind of a pretty cool book that tells you how Connor got settled into everything.
Yeah.
This is a fantastic book. Connor gets really tired of the Earth having too many Superman family characters to the point where feels like he's useless and redundant. So he goes and tries to find the planet with the most trouble without the Superman family to go save it to make himself feel like a hero. And then shenanigans ensue.
Yeah. He goes to find a place. He goes to find a place of his own and has no problem using very shady technology to do it.
Yep. Just immediately goes to Kellex and goes like, just find me the worst world out there that I can go save. Now, the issue I have with this is the artwork. If anything in particular, the faces, bodies and everything else, body, background, structure, everything looks great. It's the faces that kill me on this because everybody looks like they're 6 when you look them dead in the face. Like Connor does not have the face of a 16-year-old or an 18-year-old. He literally looks like a 6 to 10-year-old in the face, and it drives me nuts.
I can see that. I mean, I didn't think it was that bad, but I can see what you're saying, though.
The story's fantastic. Like I said, the art's great. It's just the faces. They kill me. Like, they kill me. I can't do that when... Like, Connor's my favorite super character out next to King and Kong.
Yeah.
But, like, it's so hard to look at him right now. Moving over to Marvel, we have Nightcrawlers #3. This is the penultimate issue to Sins of Sinister. This is part 10.
Yeah.
This is written by Cy Spurrier, who will soon be taking over the Flash book. Lorenzo Tometa and Philip Sevi is doing artwork. Rain Barando is doing colors. This just finishes out Nightcrawlers, so this takes care of, which one is she? Mother Righteousness.
Yeah, Mother Righteous, yeah.
In Scheme of Things. Where she is using not only, there are too many characters in this book. Auntie Fortune, which may or may not be Nocturne. I have yet to figure that out. Because they are also trying to find the Vault of the Moiras so that she can reboot a world where magic is more popular, I believe, because Lady Righteous's whole gimmick is she is the magical Sinister.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody kind of works on a different thing. Like Old Man Sinister is technology Sinister. Mr. Sinister is genetic Sinister. Dr. Stasis was viral Sinister and machine Sinister. And Mother Righteous is the magic Sinister.
Yeah.
So just shenanigans ensue. We get the reappearance of Wagnerine, which I hate that name with every fiber of my being. But, you know, it's worth it because she's been tracking Mother Righteous because Mother Righteous done stole her baby.
Yeah.
And let's just say everybody forgets about the tail. But also Moira comes into play.
Yeah.
So, all in all, good book. It's an appropriate way to end this interesting look of 1,000 years into the future of a Sinister thing. I still am not quite 100% what was up with Galactus.
Besides him being on fire?
On fire, and I guess remotely controlled.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
But yeah, like I said, everybody forgets about the tail. Jumping on over, we have She-Hulk number 12. This is also a big thing. This is the legacy issue. This is 175. This is written by Rainbow Rowell with art by Andreas Ginolette and Joe Quinosis.
Yeah.
And with colors by D. Cunafe and Brian Valencia. You know, honestly, I will be completely honest with this. The main story didn't really grab me as much for this one. This is just kind of like going through the motions where she's talking to Jack of Hearts because they are still technically in a romantic relationship with each other, but they're clearly on the outs because Jack is just sabotaging himself left and right for no reason.
Pretty
much. Jen is having to take care of a lot of legal things, and it's a very frivolous lawsuit to the point where she just walks right out. And then, you know, Fight Club and chasing this whole dude, which may be the new love interest, whatnot, where like she's telling Reed, hey, let me in on this. Reed's like, no offense, but why would we come to you when he's already beaten you? Which is a very low blow for Reed, but at the same time, 100% Reed Richards.
Yeah, exactly that.
How Sue stays married to that man is beyond me. But I will say the highlight of this issue is the second story where it's book club, which was a really fun thing where you get to see a lot of the female characters and female friends of She-Hulk gather for book club. I love the fact that Sue comes in with Franklin and Valeria. It's like, why'd you bring the kids? They're in trouble and I have to watch them. It's like, oh, they can do what they want. No, they can't. What, Mom, can we do anything? No, you're standing in the corner next to me. Like, this is something that I can tell is like they have activated full mom.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how smart you are as children. You're not getting one over Sue.
Oh, the funny part is how is the B story better than the A story in the comic?
I don't know. Like, I really don't know, but it really is. I like that they keep wanting to talk about the book, and not everybody's read the book. There's also something going on with her and Jan about like their friendship stance with each other is awkward, so they got to control that. And even Captain America comes for like some weird reason and wants to also talk about the book at the end, which I find hilarious for a whole different reason.
Yeah.
Because in Midnight Suns, he's part of my book club. Yeah, Midnight Suns has their own book club with Carol, Blade, Captain America, Wolverine, and you.
That is exactly right. I've read that book. It was good. I was like, all right, Captain America's in a book club. Well, I guess you gotta find your tribe somewhere, I guess.
But this is the only way Steve can keep up with current literature. We both know that.
That is true.
Plus, he always nitpicks all the war novels. Like, that's not how it happened. I was there. That shadowy guy they always talk about in the covers of Shadow, that was me.
Yeah.
No, like I said, this was a good book. Landmark 175 issues. Nothing to sneeze at. It just took Jen a bit to get there. Book is fantastic. It's just weird that the B story is a little bit better than the A story.
Yeah, but again, still way it worked though.
Yep. Jumping on over, this is Rogue Sun number 12, written by Ryan Perot, art by Abel, colors by Natalia Marquez, lettering by Becky Carey. So this is the final issue for season 1. After this, we're going to go into Supermassive. Dylan has to stop his prom, which he was never going to go to in the first place, from being held hostage by one of his villains.
Yep, Hellbent.
And his dad, Hell Sent.
Yeah. Well, his dad was Hell something, because his son was Hellbent. I forgot what the father's name was.
But yeah, things go awry. Dylan has to like let one of the former Rogue Sons take over his body, and then of course, surprise twist at the end.
You said you wanted a better black son. The same guy who taught you how to conjure a sword, and he's sitting there with axes in both hands. I think.
Honest to God, I thought he had a scythe during one part, but I guess it was an axe.
I kept thinking to myself, you only asked to produce a sword. This man is basically doing a master at arms. You should have asked for more stuff. That's all I'm saying.
Yep. Tragedy happens at this, but it was going to. This is a problem with superheroes and supervillains. Mm-hmm. Somebody somewhere is going to get something done to them at some point.
Yeah.
I just won't spoil this, but spoil it for you. Again, we will not be seeing this for quite a while. This is the last issue until Supermassive next month, where all sorts of shenanigans, because all the heroes of the Massiverse or IDW Tokoverse are coming together. I enjoyed this.
Oh yeah, it was definitely a good issue. The fact that he introduced a little bit of realism that he couldn't save everybody, and Caleb being the spirit was like, yeah, you gotta get used to this. If you're gonna be the rogue son, you have to be used to this. Yeah. So yeah, it was a good issue.
Next up, No One issue 2, which has already sold out first printing and second printing. This is taking off like a storm, but this is written by Kyle Higgins and Brian Botello. Art by Geraldo Borges. Colors by Mark Engelbert. This was a fun issue. There's more true crime stuff. They're still trying to figure out who the actual... no, not Roe Wade. That's the abortion lawsuit thing. What's...
What?
The copycat killer's name?
Richard Roe.
Richard Roe. I wanted to say Roe Wade. Is like, no, that's the abortion. That's the abortion trial stuff.
Yeah.
Richard Roe. They're still trying to figure out who Richard Roe is, what his connection is to the Kemp family. Meanwhile, everyone's still trying to figure out who No One actually is. There's no real hints. I enjoyed this issue. The podcast helped flesh this issue out even more. We got a really good kind of sit down between the former deputy commissioner who was attacked last issue.
Yep.
We got a great interview there. I'm really liking this series. If I can put the money together, I will be cosplaying No One. But, that's just going to be in due time because April's kind of a hell march for me financially. It always is. When your mother's birthday, your aunt's birthday, and oil change and dentistry all happen in the same week, it doesn't matter how much money you save. Jesus. It's all gone.
Yeah, you might be right about that. Jesus.
And this is the aunt that lives next door. There's no escape.
No.
Now, what do you think?
Now, for this one, they kind of went away from No One and really focused on the detective, because the detective seemed to be Kern seemed to be the central point about this. Like you almost have the senator want him to stick around, and Kern's like, yeah. It was weird at first. Like, I'm not gonna retire. I'm gonna find out who killed my son. And then at the end of it all, he goes, "Yep, I'm retired." He's like, "Bump this mess. I'm retired." Oh. I mean, No One did save you last issue. He did save you, but now you don't want to find out who he is? That's okay. No, overall though, it's a good twist. It's a good twist that doesn't have a lot of action, which is very hard to do in comic books. It is very, very difficult to literally give a good story with a minimal amount of action, and No One does definitely do that. I mean, this issue, No One definitely does that. And of course, with the podcast, if you're listening to that, as like Joe said, it does add in the gaps in between. But yeah, good issue. No issues with it.
I really want to cosplay this. And then just for fun, we're putting in Bishop's War College #3 because this is written by Jay Hoffman with that never makes it easy. Sean Damian Hill is penciler for Bishop's World. Victor Noah is inker for Bishop's World. Alberto Fauci is artist for Krakoa. Espen Gruntergen is coloring for all. This is just Bishop is trying to fill in the Krakoan exploring the world where mutants are the dominant species.
Yeah.
And whatnot. And we were right last time. Storm is black no matter what multiverse you're in.
As it should be.
And my favorite part is just Sebastian Stan just looking at him as like, girl, in his world, you are white.
Just wow. Wow is right. Although he still is
searching.
searching for...
also just like tell Sinister, it's like, oh, so you're an ass in every universe. Okay, then.
Although he is still searching for Tempo, and his team is still being tracked by the twins.
Yeah.
I still think that's weird. That they use the blight swill can actually dampen mutants' powers, and that the fact that they're wearing bracelets doesn't hinder them. So, I mean, it's a good one because I think it is going to hit a pinnacle point at some point. It's just that this issue kind of felt more of a slow burn. It's like, yeah, Bishop's still coming to grips with there's a reality that exists like this, and the fact that he's looking for Tempo in this universe. But yeah, it's a slow burn, but it's still, I mean, just for the commentary alone, it's still good.
Yep, just for this page alone, if no context whatsoever.
Yeah.
Although, this is one of these things that bothers me, and it's only pertaining to Mystique, is alternate universes versions of Mystique are designed in a weird way.
Yeah.
Where, like in the Exiles, he's a man. And in this one, she's designed to look more black, but because it's Mystique, I kind of find that pointless. Because Mystique can be whatever they want.
Yeah, she can shapeshift.
I feel like you should always just have a uniform version of Mystique. Kind of like Storm is always black. We've established this. No matter what universe, Storm's always black.
Pretty much.
I think no matter what universe, Mystique should just be Mystique. And then just leave her as she always is. Because if she's a shapeshifter to that extent, like she is, then designing her in such a way is redundant.
Okay.
I mean, agree, disagree. I mean, I understand why they're going with this aesthetic, but it just feels like it's kind of pointless because it's Mystique.
No, I see what you're saying. It's just that because Mystique is just she's uniform, so it's like you expect her to have some variant, but you expect her to be more of the same, just not to that degree. I think is what you're getting at.
Yeah, like I don't have a problem with the design because it fits with this world. It's just because of the character, not because of the design. Like I have no issue with the design.
Okay,
that's what I'm trying to get at. Now, like Sebastian Shaw with the, you're gonna have to explain to me what this hairstyle is. I want to say it's like a mixture of a lopsided afro.
That's what it looks like. It looks like old boy from Glass.
Yeah,
it looks like Samuel L. Jackson. It looks like Samuel L. Jackson's character from Glass to me.
And I guess Sinister's the evil version of Kid from Kid and Play.
Yeah, with the most messed up high top fade you'll ever see in your life.
Is it a high top fade or is it some weird high top fade pompadour?
Let's go with a hybrid. Just from that angle, let's go with a hybrid. At least that's what I'm thinking it is.
So are we calling that a pompatop?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, then. Still, best line of the comic. And just the utter look of shock and dismay on Emma's face. But no, that was all the comics fit to read this week. We got, for as much advertisement as I'm seeing for Green Arrow, I thought Green Arrow would be up by now.
No, it's cool. But thank you, Joe, for the comic pulls. And as always, we do always want to shout out to Rick's Comic City. Store is located in Nashville, in Clarksville, Tennessee. So if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely do check them out. They are voted Nashville's #1 place for comics and anime and all things nerdy and blurty. So definitely check them out there. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, definitely support your local comic book store, support your local libraries, as they are still areas to where you can get the latest in anime, comics, manga, and multimedia to your heart's content. So again, we want to show them love because they show us love. And of course, rickscomiccity.com, You can definitely buy comics as well as get trades and hardcovers and graded comics online as well. So, want to shout them out because they shout us out.
Also, don't forget for Rick's Comic City. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
also, don't forget for Rick's Comic City in 2 weeks, free comic book day.
Yep. So you can always, again, the key word is free comics. I know I took my nephews there last time they had a ball. So definitely free comic book day. Definitely take advantage of it. Encouraged to read because when you read, you lead. And if you lead, then you read. And
if you read as much as I do, you spend too much money.
Well, you're going to spend money regardless anyway. Just find your vice. Money's going to leave you. Just find your vice. But with that being said, as we wrap this up, Joe, anything you want people to know what you're doing, what you're about, and where you'll be?
Where I'll be is a good question because I got a lot going on in the first week of May, and I got to see if logistics is willing and the body is even more willing.
I understand.
Something else coming. Oh wait, next week also comes out Jedi Survivor comes out next week.
Another game I'll have to add to the back list. But yeah.
I'm gonna wait till that one's on Game Pass. PlayStation Game Pass. They'll do it, I guarantee it at some point.
At some point, yeah.
Right now, I guess you can just find me on Joe Italian last name on Twitch, where I'm either gonna stream Ghostbusters, my time in the Street Fighter demo, or try to reclaim where I was in Tales of Arise, Shield Mom and Pals, because I got a long trek back to where I was.
Going to say, you put a lot of hours into that just to turn around and try to reproduce that. Yeesh.
They'll look pretty doing it. Yeah. Also, keep a lookout at the Tennessee Ghostbusters Twitch stream. We did a charity stream last night for Tennessee Dreams and Wishes. We raised $65, so we went $25 over our goal of $40. So yay us!
Nice.
We will continue to do that. I, of course, have now fully made myself in the game. The only thing missing now is the back pain. But I don't think they can put that in the game. But Ilphonic will find some way to put that in there.
Oh, that's gonna be interesting.
Currently, I am trying to grind out all the Extreme Ghostbuster equipment. You can also put on the old Ghostbuster power suits.
Okay.
From when we were younger. They have those different coveralls. So you get Whitson's black. What was the way I described it? It's like black windbreaker design where it's like blue slashes across the chest.
Okay.
And purple slashes across one leg with purple lapels.
Interesting.
I think that was his action figure for the power suits. They're just adding in all sorts of fun Ghostbustery stuff. So either catch that on my channel or Tennessee Ghostbuster channel. I will be maybe in costume at Free Comic Book Day. We got to see how that goes, what the weather's like, and if I'm feeling up to it. Because, as I said, that's going to be a very, very tricky weekend because there's a lot going on at once.
And we all
showings of Guardians.
You're gonna be. Oh, yeah, that's right. Because Guardians of the Galaxy does come out May 3rd. So yeah, that's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna have a fun old time. Well, also, guys, also not forget to also catch Joe on his YouTube channel at Total Justice Gaming, as well as Joe Italian last name on Twitch. If I can find words, that'd be so great. Say what?
It's also on Twitter.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot you are on Twitter. We're on the dark side of Twitter.
No, my Twitter's the light side.
I stay on the dark side. But some other shameless plugging before we do get out of here, guys. I do want to shout out to my friend Big Vaughn. Big Vaughn. Big Vaughn sounds like a car dealership that you don't want to go to. Definitely my buddy Vaughn at Big VZA on social media. Definitely check him out and his music channel to where he has beats that you can use for content. He does not do corporate copyright strikes like most people do. But you can definitely do that. He also has beats for sale if you are interested, but definitely check him out. Big VZA on all social media. As for myself, guys, you can find me BlackBox447 also on all social media. I usually do reviews and everything that I read, that I play, that I see, even though I do gym stuff, because I still do a couple push-ups. At the same time, guys, the link at the bottom, I just make that a little bit bigger for you guys to see. If you copy and paste that link into our browser, it'll take you to the link tree that's the YouTube and Facebook groups for all the podcasts, How the Cracker Got Here, Get Bit, and of course, South Flint's podcast. Definitely like, share, subscribe, let the people know. Also, if you have discussions or just difference of opinions on everything we talked about tonight, let us know in the comments field because we can see them and we do want to talk about it. We do want to keep the conversation going. Aside from that, guys, like I said, life is pretty much more of a player one situation with me. So hopefully I'll be able to get back to playing video games and doing reviews and getting back to movies very soon. But aside from that, like I said, guys, we definitely need more unity in the nerd and blurred fandom world. We do need to be more acceptable, more supportive. Again, if someone's doing better than you, it's not a competition, guys. It just may be their turn to win. Just celebrate with them because your turn may be coming up. At the same time, guys, I know the pandemic levels are dropping, but still protect yourselves because we are coming up on the April showers, May flowers type of thing. And if you're in Tennessee, you're getting all 4 seasons at once. So please take care of yourselves. Wear a mask if need be. And again, protect yourself. That's how we protect others. Aside from that, guys, we will hopefully be back here next Friday, same Get Bit time, same Get Bit channel. With news of the week and comic book pulls, as we usually do. Of course, we do have a studio assistant droid that Joe has gotten. So he'll be interesting as well as far as his responsibilities that nature go. Aside from that, guys, we do thank you all for watching, for letting people know. Aside from that, Joey, last words for your call tonight, sir?
Again, demonetized almost immediately. I can't do anything about him. He came this way. He was surly to begin with.
Oh, that's been our droid. That's been our droid. That's been our droid. That's Joe. I've been Will. This is the Get Bit podcast for tonight, guys. Thank you for watching. Do take care of yourselves and each other. We will all get through this. Have a great weekend, guys. Stay safe. Have fun. Be nerdy. Peace.